So you watch TV too, like a normal person? This was an actual question that a physician got from a patient. And it made me think how we as a society view physicians and all the myths that are out there about them. Similarly, patients, they're not just patients, they're people who have simply become ill. They're mothers, fathers, neighbors, customers. And in this world of technology, advertising, marketing that we're all a part of, we need to be engaging with them in the healthcare space in the same way that they're now used to engaging with companies, brands, services in their daily lives. So according to a recent report, this is from the Canadian Medical Association, Canadians want a more tech-driven healthcare system. CMA President Gigi Osler stated, "Today, we've become accustomed to doing almost everything online. And Canadians are clear. They want the same when it comes to managing their health and their journey through the healthcare system." So delivering digital initiatives by pharma for physicians and patients has actually become a top imperative for healthcare marketing professionals as a really unique opportunity to engage and create impact. But pharma marketing and digital innovation are often not words that we hear in the same sentence. And even today, when we speak to our pharma clients, they're only just beginning to explore digital strategies and tactics, and especially in Canada. So why is pharma lagging behind? And there's many reasons for this. First one is habit. Pharma marketers are simply used to doing the same things over and over again that they have learned and that has worked for them in the past. One way to get over this and around it is look to your agencies. Look to them to bring you new and innovative solutions. Fear is another one. There is a fear of doing something new in case it doesn't work. Again, a way to get around this is don't start at what is the digital tactic that I need to do, but look to your customers and uncovering what that insight is, what are they looking for, and then delivering on that need. So start by uncovering the insight, move that over into strategy, and only then figure out what is the right digital tactic that I need to do. Lack of budget, that's a really common constraint. But let's reframe the budget equation and recognize when those basic print materials that you've developed don't even make it out of a pharma sales rep bag, it's time to reallocate that budget and create something that's made for the 21st century. And lastly, it is a fact, pharma products are life-changing innovations in and of themselves. So it has been difficult to pharma marketers to even see the need to innovate beyond the product. But the world is changing, and so are consumers. And more, they are expecting companies, brands, products, services to deliver delights and experiences that are beyond just the facts and features of what that drug or product is. So I'll take a moment now, I'll take you through some examples. Again, a lot of these talks that I go to, people often give a lot of theory, and they want to know what are the specific examples, what can I walk away with and do? So one example, to engage patients and physicians, how about our consumer-friendly chatbot tool? This could be built on mobile or desktop, again, to answer either patient questions or physician questions quickly and efficiently. For physicians, the tool can be developed to mimic a conversation they would have with a medical science liaison, for example. For patients, it can be used to answer their questions about a product in the same way that a patient brochure can do that with information from a product monograph. Patients and physicians are also on social media. They're looking online for disease information or even others' experiences with a product. This is an example in the over-the-counter space where selected Canadian influencers were identified to post information about a specific stomach remedy. And that was a great way to drive awareness of the product and also increase consideration by both patients and physicians. Also applying how we interact with our family and our friends online. We also have the ability to build closed online communities, also to engage patients or physicians, moderate conversations and discussion with them. These platforms are available, they look very much like Facebook. And you can recruit patients or physicians into those platforms and engage with them in a manner that is very and feels very authentic. So going back to our physician who runs a very busy clinical practice and also watches TV like a normal person, what can we do with them to engage them out of the traditional model? So we were actually recently challenged by a Canadian pharmaceutical company to come up with an innovative and digitally driven learning program for physicians. So we looked outside of the box to what their consumer experiences might be and ported those over into the healthcare space. So knowing our physician watches Netflix, he watches TV, probably also goes to the movies, engages in time play with the audience, and likely has a slew of apps on his phone for both personal and professional use, we engendered all of those consumer experiences into that learning program. And what we developed was a program where physicians are invited to a live event, something that they are very used to doing, but what they're asked to do is they're looking at a movie, a choose-your-own-adventure movie of a patient's illness journey. They then have the ability to view different patient outcomes depending on the treatment that they select for that patient. The app component of the program allows a physician to re-engage with the learning after the event in a variety of ways. So it can be done. And it's time for pharma to change its habits, get over its fears, get past the lawyers, work collaboratively with regulatory bodies and compliance, reallocate some of its budgets into more of the digital sphere, and deliver delightful innovation in the spaces where patients and physicians are the most, online. So let's imagine a world in which our healthcare system not only treats a patient condition, but also satisfies their preferences as customers too. Thank you.
Friends from Kloop.
Hi, you mentioned the closed communities where they're having these conversations and engaging. What platforms are those on?
So one that we like to use a lot is called Recollective, but again, they exist. That's a Canadian one that we like to use. So again, it is a closed platform. The patients or physicians are recruited specifically. They know what they're supposed to do inside that platform. We can engage them over a number of days, for example, and moderate a discussion with them.
Amazing. So let me ask you a question. So I found your case really inspiring, and because I work with a lot of pharma companies, and it's hard to get them to see that light. So tell us the war story. You presented this idea. It was super innovative. How did you sell it?
The physician learning program?
Yeah.
So that was an interesting one because that was an RFP that we responded to. And what the pharma company was looking for, they're used to doing learning programs with physicians all the time. They're called other learning activities. And the requirement was actually to develop an enduring, engaging, innovative, differentiated, and digitally driven learning program. Those were the words that they used. And I laughed because even in brackets, they wrote, animated PowerPoint slides will not be accepted. Because again, that is all they're used to seeing, and we as an industry just can't get beyond the animated PowerPoint slide. And what we showed, they were extremely impressed. Supposedly it's never been done before, so
it's incredible.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we need more innovation like that, and I agree with you. We've got to stop listening. It's not like we don't want to listen to the lawyers, but we've got to start to move beyond the no.
Yeah, and they're willing. They're willing.
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, sure.
How are you able to target
target physicians. So often for learning programs that pharma does, they use their medical science liaisons or their sales reps who have relationships with physicians as their customers, and they invite them to the learning programs. Anyone else?
Okay, thank you so much, Dorothy. I appreciate that. That was amazing. So,